Last we left off, you started off again on your travels north towards the Icewind Dale. Sariel and Quincy made a quick trip to the blacksmith before leaving to acquire some leather armor. Valis seemed to have some change of heart when approached for coin to expense the armor as part of necessary items to perform the task of helping 10 towns. He was much more friendly and even apologized for his previous actions. Could this be a turn of a new leaf? A few hours outside of Hundlestone, you started to notice caravan remains littering the path. A couple of you noticed shadowy figures running in the woods alongside of the trail. Sneaking ahead, you found that an ambush was being set up to steal your goods. After quickly dispatching all but one of the bandits, you are now safely out of combat, with a sleeping bandit tied up between you all. What do you do? Can you all see the map? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is this stuff right here like flavor, or like just came with the map itself, or is it important?
It's just came with the map, but let's zoom in a little bit. What? Oh, is it like frozen bits?
Remains?
Oh no,
Yeah.
those are frozen people. Yeah, that just came with the map. I didn't even notice it. I thought it was just ice chunks. I don't zoom in that detailed to the map.
Well, that's what I was like,
my
this
map
is weird.
like Fog of Ward.
Weird.
Or maybe it's just nighttime.
Did it change when I moved your character?
No.
Dynamic lighting on. Save.
It's dark except for like I have super night vision, so like.
Oh yeah.
That's just how the map is.
Yeah, I mean, do you just have a circular radius around your character? You don't see the whole map?
I do. Well, I can see the map. It's just darker on the outskirts of it, of my radius. Like I can still see. It's definitely dimmer once we leave my circle.
Oh, there. Whatever you just did fixed it.
Okay.
That made the radius go away too.
Okay.
I'm once this guy is fully tied up, I'm probably going to shake him awake once I'm confident he's secure.
Okay. I don't think we rolled. Give me some sleight of hand checks for tying these knots. If you're going to be the dude doing the one that's tying.
I called Gad over to help. Well, I called people over to help me, and I think Gat came over to help. So
can I do a survival instead of sleight of hand?
Yeah, I'll give survival. I think you would have to learn how to tie certain knots for traps and things like that, so I would allow it.
Oof, I got a 9.
Okay.
For my sleight of hand for checking the knot.
So, I'll say with him being asleep, and not resisting in any way, shape, or form, 10 DC is plenty. Whimsy, not being used to tying people up or tying knots in general, outside of the strings, not outside of the strings on your lute, you see some mistakes, and as Whimsy's tying a certain knot, you correct and you show the proper way to tie it, and you feel that he is secure, unable to successfully run away, legs, feet, and hands bound behind his back.
Thank you for the assistance. I don't want this guy to try to get away again.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be getting away with that much rope.
I'm gonna shake him awake.
As you shake him awake, a look of surprise turns quickly into a look of anger, but his lips stay tight. He doesn't say anything, just stares up into your face.
So, what's your plan here? That's what I ask him What's your plan here?
Spits.
Okay. That's quite useful. Thank you. Very informative. Yeah. And I'm just gonna chatter at him, kind of being friendly and somewhat annoying.
Okay.
Hoping to get him to say something, anything. He
Um.
to tell me to shut up.
While he's doing that, Quincy's going to search his forearm to make sure he doesn't have a knife or anything stashed up there, something he can use to cut the rope.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Go ahead and give an investigation check. Whimsy, I'll say give a persuasion check. Investigating through his clothes, you do find a few daggers that were tucked away, hidden, that others didn't see when they were kind of going over the body. He probably would have been unable to get to them, but still better safe than sorry. Whimsy, with you just chattering away, you can see that this bandit's frustration is growing. And he eventually looks over at you, Gat, and does he ever shut up?
I'll just approach him and unarmed strike.
Okay. I still need to. Yeah, you hit -1 point of damage. He still has a decent amount of health. Yeah, and immediately you see blood coating over his now cut lip, and he just spits the blood out. Is that the best you got?
Wow, you really want to piss people off, don't you? I mean, I get it, and I'm just gonna keep chatting.
What am I supposed to beg? I know the dangers that I got into. I know the risks. I know the rewards. What do you want from me? Why did you even leave me alive?
I think the bigger question is, what do you want now? What do you want? Where do you see this going? Because obviously, we could have killed you. We still could. I don't want that to happen. I mean, I'd rather not kill somebody who isn't currently, injured to others. But I'm not really sure what to do with you. So, like, do you have any ideas?
Well, you could just let me go. I'll head south. You'll never see me again. We'll pretend like this never happened.
Is that what you want? You want to just walk away?
If you untie me, that's exactly what I'll do.
And what would I get out of this?
The satisfaction of not having to have more blood on your hands than you already do.
Oh, my hands are pretty clean. They could use with some soiling. I'd survive a little bit of blood on my hands.
Then what do you want?
I noticed that these caravans seem to be empty and all of their stuff, and yet I don't see a big pile of things, sitting under a tarp or anything. So where's all of this stuff in the last caravan you hit?
Untie my feet and I'll tell you. For every knot you untie, I'll give you a piece of information.
Tempting. But honestly, I think you're not really in a position to make too many demands.
You see, I'm in the only the best position. I don't have anything to lose. You kill me, I'm dead. I give you a lot of information about what I'm doing here. Well, the people that I work for, they wouldn't take too kindly to that. So I guess my days are numbered either way.
I mean, there is another option to just, walking away. You could go the straight and narrow, join us, be a guard in our caravan, and if anybody comes after you, they'll be coming after us too. And we can handle ourselves.
No offense. No offense, but you're headed north. You're heading right into the maw of the beast. You don't know what's up there. You don't know the people. Criminals escaped. Everybody worse than me. I'm somebody's lackey, you see. You guys defeated me. Some of you look pretty hurt. But there's more. Worse than me.
It's understandable that the people you worked for would assume you were dead. A little bit of makeup, a few scars on your face, and they might never recognize you.
I wish it were that easy.
Quincy's gonna squat down next to him. It's like, who do you work for?
Untie a knot, and I'll tell you. Just one knot. Just my feet, my legs, my hands are still bound. Just my feet.
I'll untie one knot.
And as he kind of wiggles a little bit, testing the strength of the other bindings, kind of nods in resignation. There's a dwarf. Traveling merchant. It's Torg's traveling merchant. They have lackeys in every town, protection hired. Really, it's just they hurt people, they incite fear in the towns, and then they claim to offer protection for that same fear that they incited. Scam, really.
Okay, now where's all your loot?
Well, they're peddling it right now.
And the people that were part of the caravan?
How do you think the goods are getting there? Oh, those people.
Yeah.
Well, and he looks around. Some of them just didn't make it. Others fled to the trees. Probably eaten by mountain lions or bears or who knows, maybe even a yeti.
All right.
What else do you want to know? For another knot, of course.
These people, they're dangerous. These people you work for, they're dangerous. Not a question. You've already said that. And you're hoping to just walk away and head south? How far do you think you'll get with no money, no weapons? 3 of your buddies who might still be a little too loyal to the higher ups and think that they can get something else in the next town down that you'd have to sneak past or risk saying hi to. How far do you think you'd get running south?
As I said, I'm a dead man whether you kill me or whether Torga sends their men.
More than 2 options here. Help us, your informant. I'll make sure they can't recognize you. I'm going to cast minor illusion. I'm going to cast minor illusion on my face to change the appearance of it. I can't move while I'm there, but he doesn't know that.
Okay. How are you changing your face?
I'm gonna make it look human. I'm gonna just overlay myself with an image of a human, and then dismiss it.
I feel like there's okay. He is going to perform in.
There's a check to see the illusion.
Yeah. Yes.
It's DC 14.
Yeah, he fails. And you'd do that for me if I gave you information.
Something similar. If you came with us, if you actually helped us.
How do I know? What sort of assurance can I have that once we get north that you're not just going to turn me in?
You're not dead yet, are you? I'm not the one that attacked you. I let your 3 friends walk away. I give people options.
What are you, the spokesperson of this group?
I'm gonna look look around. Any objections?
Me. He talks for everybody, actually.
Well, Baron, what do you think?
I'm always interested in watching this this trial, but I don't think we can trust him. And I'll start walking forward with my axe raised to strike him.
Like to actually strike him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm going to step in between the 2 of you. And say,
Mr. Whimsy, you've got a good, kind heart, but this man slaughtered. We're now everyone here. Now, the best kindness we could do is to not let him die in the cold and make it quick. If you bring him into town, somebody's going to recognize him. People are probably expecting the people from this caravan.
And we can make sure that there are stories of how we killed everyone here. I'll make sure that that's the story that gets told in the next town. And he's no good to us dead.
You know the dwarf's right, though. What about the rest of the people in your caravan? Do you think they would just allow me to come back knowing that I had slaughtered the people before them and planned on slaughtering them if need be, if they wouldn't give over their goods?
I wasn't planning on making an announcement to the whole caravan of how you joined us. For all they need to know, you were a lowly thug. You turned on your foes, on your friends, and helped us. I'm giving you a second chance here.
Give one more persuasion
really
check.
be the one trying.
With advantage, I'll say.
Whimsy?
Yeah?
What about all the family members of the people he killed?
I can't do anything to help them, but I can do something to the people that are going to cause it. Oh shoot, nat 1, plus 8, but
Right.
I can do something. Oh, with advantage, right? That's helpful. Okay. I can't do anything to help the people that are already dead, but we can have
not the
his
people
help.
that are dead, the family members of the people that he killed.
They'll be a whole lot safer without the people higher up to do harm.
And just how safe do you think we'll be trying to trust this man? Going back into Bryn Shander.
I think
who's to say that he wouldn't? We're not stronger than whoever he's working for. Just us. It'd be an easy thing for him to just go back to who he was working for and get whatever nice, comfortable living he was getting for working for them.
Not after he's told us everything he knows about them. At that point, he won't trust them to not turn on him.
Our little group definitely stands out. It's not every day you have a group with a turtle and a red face.
I'm aware of that, and we'll use that to our advantage. Trust me, I have plans, but he doesn't have to stand out.
I'm not concerned about his life.
I mean, I would only ever be okay with this if he went to every single family member of the person he killed and apologized.
I'm gonna turn to him and say,
maybe reparations, help them out some way. You have to be good. You can't just get away with everything. There has to be some sort of repercussions, some sort of amends.
You're so sweet and innocent and kind-hearted. Do you think these people just carry identification? Do you think there's just addresses printed somewhere on their person of where their family lives?
No,
how would I find them?
I know. That's your penance. That's what you have to do.
And that's something he can do. That's something we can look into when we get there, but not if he's dead. Not if we end it here.
I think the most you could do for him is to send him on after those friends that sold him out for whatever reason. Or that you got to keep walking down the road.
All right. I've had enough of this. I'll tell you everything you want to know, including with the full name of the person who's my employer and where to find them. Torga Icevane. She's basically the owner and the face of their establishment. She travels with the caravan everywhere that it goes, traveling between the 10 towns. The caravan that we just plundered. Those goods are meant to be taken to Bryn Shander. Torga's expecting a new supply there today, maybe tomorrow. No doubt with the new moon approaching, she'll be there. Be careful. Every town that you go to, indistinguishable people under her employ. Could be a bartender. Could be a child. She has eyes and ears everywhere. She rules by fear. Whether it's because her bodyguard, Cephik, is capable of carrying out the demands. It's more of the what if. The It gets people scared. There's already enough going on in Icewind Dale right now that people aren't willing to take the chance, and they'll pay with any sort of price that they have for protection from Torga. By Torga. It's an endless loop, really.
Thank you.
What did you say the bodyguard's name was?
Sefik. Sephek. Yeah.
I'll start untying him.
There's no need for that. And you see him grit his teeth. And start to convulse.
Oh.
Falls over.
That makes
Can I
things nice and clean.
Spare the dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do that.
I'll reach out, touch him, and spare the dying.
And that just... He's still at 0 HP, but he's
Yep, and
not...
unconscious, but yeah.
Oh, in an
Fucking
hour,
shit.
he'll have taken a short rest.
What a dick move. I never thought saving somebody's life could be an asshole move.
Hey.
Yeah, no end to this torture here. He's gonna wake up to Whimsy's voice.
He's got
Thinking he's in hell.
amends. You don't understand. That's what happens. He's got to make amends.
Okay, yeah.
He
He's gonna
doesn't get out
wake
that
up.
easily.
He's gonna wake up in an hour and think the afterlife is really disappointing.
Yeah.
Fucking cold here.
At least he's not in hell, he thinks. Alright,
Then
Well, who knows?
yeah. Okay, unconscious bandit foam kind of coming out of his mouth as he lays there in the cold snow.
Alright. Well, let's
What did you
carry
do?
him back.
He's got reparations to make. He can't take the coward's way out.
I approve.
You already...
You want me to baby Yeti him?
What? No! No!
Although, props for asking first. So, you know,
Character development.
Character development.
The fact that you call it that, though, is a little horrifying.
What do you do now?
I suggest we bring him back with us. Make sure he's tied up again when he comes to, and maybe check his mouth for some more poison pills. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. I'll make sure his airway is clear and check to see if he has anything else.
Yeah, give me an investigation check.
Evan.
An 11? Okay.
Yep.
So looking into his mouth, you see what appeared to be in the back of his mouth by his molars, a golden tooth that seems to have had like the top portion of it kind of broken in, making it hollow. Now, looking around, you do see some other golden teeth, but
Rip his teeth out.
Anybody have any pliers?
No.
if it changes your decision at all, the two others that you see that are golden are not molars. They're just like one of them is in the front. What do you call this big twofer? One of the chiclets.
The That's what they're called, is big toothers.
Big toothers.
The official name.
Yeah. And then one of them is just like a random one over here on the side.
Okay. Then yeah, no, I won't try to pull out the teeth.
Are you sure?
I mean,
we won't let him die, but we will torture him.
I mean
For
the
no
gold.
reason.
You know, the gold would be helpful.
Now, Whimsy, you promised that you could make him look different, right?
Yeah, I've got a disguise kit. Oh yeah, I know how to use that, so I'll definitely use that on him.
Right now, or
No, not right now.
no? Okay.
Before we get back, so let's take him back to the caravan tied up.
Well, if we just wait here, the caravan should be coming through, right?
That is true. We should just, or somebody needs to go back and tell them to come.
Yes.
We told them to stop. Remember, somebody needs to go back and tell them.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Start running back.
Nice wings, by the way.
What?
Nice wings. You had wings at the end. I don't. They're probably gone, but
They're definitely
they're
gone.
gone.
Yeah, that was new.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's a gift from Mom.
Don't know what that means, but that's all right.
Yeah, and I'll run off.
Mr. Whimsy, just what do you plan on doing here? Do you know this gentleman?
No, I don't. But I've known people like him. People who turn to crime because there wasn't really any other option in town, and everybody, whether they were honest citizens or not, ended up working for the criminal. I'd
Really,
like
you
to
think
give him
there
an
is no other option?
There's always other options, but sometimes hard to see.
Right.
It's like it's sometimes hard to see another option other than killing a man. And I look at you.
I'm going to collect up the daggers on the floor, and so I have a set of throwing knives.
Okay.
Don't know how you survived this long, then.
My
how
charm.
many-
I don't want any part of this.
I mean, we did find him in a pit.
And Whimsy actually laughs. That's a fair point. I do know how to get myself into trouble, but I'm typically pretty good at getting out of it.
How many are there, John?
How many are? Oh, daggers. I'm gonna say there were. I'm gonna imagine that you, because I think you searched some of the corpses as well. I would imagine there are 4. Let's say 5 in total. 5 total daggers found. Not of any exceptional quality.
But you could throw them in somebody's face.
Very true.
I'm just going to put them on my belt as throwing knives.
Okay.
When I learn animate objects, I might borrow those from you.
Sariel, was there anything that you planned on doing once you reached the caravan besides just letting them know that it was safe to come up?
Yeah, I would run up and be like, "It's safe to go now. We've apprehended the bandits," and that's probably about it.
Okay. You hear that? They got the bandits. Let's keep going then. We got lots of ground to cover today before we get to Bryn Shander. And eventually the caravan starts to creak off in that direction. About a half hour passes before they eventually make their way up to you. The roads kind of
short rest.
I'll say between the time of you guys interrogating and all that other stuff, I'll see you guys can benefit from a short rest.
I'm gonna play a song of rest while that happens.
Okay.
What is that?
It gives if anybody regains hit points at the end of the short rest by spending one or more hit dice, they can add an extra 1d6. And I'll roll that.
Nice.
Everyone, they get an extra 1. One extra 1. That includes the... Oh, no, he can't hear me because he's unconscious. So the bandit doesn't get an extra 1 at the end of the short rest.
As the caravan gets closer,
We retie him up, right?
do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was just his legs that were...
I retie up his legs.
Yeah. Okay. Grist kind of walks up to the rest of you. Reckon I need to kind of clear some of this rubble off the road. Can't get the caravan through in this state. And eventually goes over and picking up a box here and a box there and just kind of chucking them off to the side. But some of those...
By looking at these boxes, can we tell what's in them?
They're empty. I think somebody was rummaging through them trying to find things last time, and that's how we noticed that there was no loot inside it. It had all been pillaged.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
But eventually clearing the roadway of the wagons, dragging them off to the side, you all set off again north towards Bryn Shander. You do anything during your travels?
I'll be near the bandit, just playing on my lute. Does Quincy notice my artwork?
Remind me again what your
Yeah.
artwork was.
It was Thieves'
Oh,
Cant.
that's right. The thieves can't on the... Yep, okay.
Very pretty thieves can't.
Yeah, Quincy's just gonna look at it, shake his head, and go back to his cart.
You don't.
I'm gonna
you
go
don't
back
like
to Grist and work on getting my armor settled.
Okay.
It's extravagant. Usually we go for the simple, subtle approach.
Oh, I'm not great at that one. Whole simple subtle thing. But
Ah, well, live and learn.
I think it looks great. Wonderful, wonderful symbol for our little group here.
An hour goes by. The bandit opens his eyes. Kind of looks around in a state of shock. Whimsy, would you be close?
I'm
He
gonna
looks
say,
at...
Ah, you're awake. And be careful. Don't struggle. You're pretty weak. One good insult and you'd be dead.
That never fails. I've never, in all my years, ever seen that fail.
We're spectacular folk around here.
Why? Where are you taking me?
Well,
I told you everything.
yeah, but you're not done. You did the easy part. You chose to help us. You don't get to just bow out after that.
I didn't agree to this.
Well, I think you're probably used to being in situations without agreement, so at least it'll be, familiar territory for you. Now, you gonna hold still while I put on a disguise for you, or do you want people to recognize you as soon as we make it there?
He just kind of nods in agreement, still frustrated.
Okay. I'm going to use my disguises kit on him. Disguise kit, which
How long's that last?
I mean, Proficiency with this kit lets you add your proficiency bonus to any ability checks you make to create a visual disguise.
Doesn't say that it.
I mean, it's makeup, so I
Okay.
imagine it would, it might come off if he sweats too hard.
Okay.
You want me to make a, I think that would be sleight of hand? Or not sleight of hand, but, dexterity plus proficiency.
How are you trying to disguise him?
I want to change the shape of his face with prosthetics. Just make him look like a completely different person. If he has a beard, I'll probably shave it. If he doesn't have a beard, I'll probably add a prosthetic beard. Maybe cut his hair too with a dagger. Do a hack job with that.
Yeah.
Get out some different clothes for him.
Yeah, you can do that.
And but that would be
Okay.
That is interesting how that calculated that.
It's with all the extra gear that people have to wear with the cold, changing some of the minor details like the beard, and adding a little weight to his face, makes it a little goes a long ways into disguising. You feel confident enough that at least while he's
got a hood up.
Yeah, he should be disguised. Nal eventually leans back and says to whoever's near, "The roads aren't looking the best. I think we might have to make one more stop before we get to Bryn Shander. Slow moving on these icy roads."
Would magic help?
What do you got in mind?
Well, I've got my sorcerer who can fly.
Not quite sure how
She's got
flying
fire
would.
magic as well.
I can warm small things.
I'm not sure if you've seen the layout of what we're working with right here, but the road is no small thing. And I think even if you decided to try to combat this with fire, all you'd be doing is turning it into a slushy mess, which would probably make it even more difficult for the horses to traverse in. Wheels caked with slush, mud, whatever's underneath of this. Probably best that we just park over and wait for things to die down.
All right.
Eventually, the caravan stops for the evening, a little bit earlier than intended. We'll make it to Bryn Shander midday tomorrow. I promise. No matter what, we'll push through, we'll make it. But a lot of times when the horses they get to stand in there out from underneath of the cover, they get stiff. Don't like to move as much, so we can get the cover set up and get them some nice place warm. Maybe keep them by the fire for tonight. It would be best for them.
Nobody's questioning your judgment on this one, no. It's not like we're in any rush. Except for the people who are dependent on us arriving.
I think one more day will be okay. We wouldn't have been able to do anything tonight when we got there anyways if we did make it. Alright everyone, let's get camp set up one more time before we get to some comfy cozy inns tomorrow.
If we got there tonight, we could have stopped by Kelvin's Comfort.
Well,
But
we'll be there tomorrow.
that is certainly something worth waiting one more night for.
You get all the tents set up. The camp layout not as friendly. It's not the usual pit stop between Hundlestone and Bryn Shander. Right on the edge of the mountain pass, as you can look out and even see torch lights flickering in the far distance, several miles ahead. But it is a barren wasteland of snow. The light in the sky, the moon, barely visible. Tomorrow night, a new moon approaching. Do you do anything with the night?
I'm gonna make sure the bandit doesn't freeze to death, but I'm not gonna tie him. Try to make him as comfortable as possible with his feedback.
Do you put him in a tent with you?
I'll leave him in the cart that I got him into.
Okay. Yeah, probably covering him with one of the tarps, as well as maybe a spare blanket or something like that would have to suffice. It is approaching sub-zero temperatures. Not quite there. Probably in the teens. Sorry, Quincy. You'll be here in Fahrenheit instead of Celsius. I don't know the conversion rate. Across the pond folk, not used to it.
Quincy's going to have a fiddle with his doohickey.
Well,
Sure, you want to
Is
do that?
Is that in the privacy of your own tent? Or are you just doing it right out there by the fireplace or by the fire pit?
That bandit's tied up.
Yeah, go do it near him.
Yeah, sure.
Hey,
Keep
buddy,
warm.
how's it going?
Want to earn your freedom?
Oh,
Oh
man.
lordy! All right, we're gonna have to put some age restriction on this one on YouTube. All right, go ahead and give me what was I making you give? A sleight of hand check for navigating the puzzle? I think so.
Okay. 26.
this is like Quincy's all by himself playing with this thing.
Yeah, just want to make sure, Quincy, where were you at when you did this? Were you by yourself?
Yeah,
Or did you
probably
actually go next to the bandit?
No, I was by myself.
Okay. Finding a tent. The rest of the group probably out by the campfire or,
Listening
eating.
to a song I prepared.
Oh no.
Right? Thoughts exactly. No, I'm just kidding. As you're moving this ball through the 3D maze that is this glass cube, passing what you've now seen as keyholes for this marble to fall into, you eventually drop it down into a new hole. You hear the familiar click from within, signifying that the latch has been unlocked. Opening it, instead of the usual darkness that you find inside, it is now a bright white light that is protruding from it. But you don't see or feel anything inside of this open container. Whispers. Indistinguishable in your current state. Do you do anything with this information?
Well, since it's a bright light and she already knows about the cube, I'm gonna leave it open but call Sariel over. See if she can figure it out.
Yeah, I'll go over there and be like, "What's up?"
Any idea what this is?
Let me pray on it, and I'll sit down and I'll pray.
Okay. I mean, is there a spell attached to that prayer, or are you just,
Guidance for an Arcana check?
Okay, alright, I'll allow it.
Alright, I'm really good at this one, so... 14 Arcana to see if I recognize the magic.
The magic itself is difficult to pinpoint. It feels like thinking about what it would take to create such an item. You feel like it would take all the schools of magic. Just knowing what's been pulled out of there already, as well as looking into this bright, blinding light and hearing whispers, it's hard to know whether or not it's an illusion or whether or not it's real. But you're still not quite sure what it could be outside of just, this is a very powerful magical item that seems to be imbibed with all different schools of magic.
Where'd you get this, Quincy?
That's just something I picked up in my travels.
It seems really, really powerful, but I can't decipher it. I don't understand what its purpose is or what it's for. It just gives off a sense of magic pretty heavily.
Unfortunately, the previous owner wasn't very forthcoming when he donated it.
Yeah, I'll hand it back to you. I'm sorry I couldn't be more help. I didn't really study magic in that way. It just kind of comes naturally to me.
It's alright, you know more about it than I do.
Yeah. But maybe we can find a wizard or somebody who studies more in one of the towns and you can ask them. Or maybe if you just kind of test it out for an hour or so, you might be able to figure out something.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
And I'll just kind of sit next to Quincy and chill and make
Okay.
small talk and hang out.
Is there anything specific that you try with this open cube, the white light pouring out of it, the whispers?
I assume I reached into the light.
Stuck your finger in it?
How deep did you want to reach into it? It's a legitimate question. Like, typically, you have found items in just wrist deep. You reach in, you feel an item, and then you pull it out.
I'd go elbow deep at least.
Elbow deep. Okay. As this is
I'm sorry.
a small cube. Like, it's probably about this big, but as it's open and you're getting up to the end of your forearm, you can feel it kind of constraining a little bit, but the mouth of the opening seems to be expanding to fit your arm more comfortably. As you get elbow deep in, you can feel fabric on the other side. Do you investigate it further past first touch?
Yes.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
That's a 3.
Okay. As you're taking your hand and you're just kind of feeling around, waving it kind of back and forth, feeling all just, it's weird, different cloths, it's just fabric. You can't seem to feel any other type of texture.
What happened if I try to pull it out?
The cloth?
Yeah.
Do you try to pull it out?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a strength check.
$19.
As you're pulling, you get your hand out, and in your hand, you can see a light blue fabric, tightly woven. Not imagining much light gets through this. But as you're pulling, it's stuck. You can't pull it out any further. Would you yank on it with that strength check? Like to just pull it all the way out?
Yeah.
Tugging, you eventually yank, and you can hear a rip above the whispers that are happening, and then a loud clattering on the other side, like metal striking the floor, ringing. But you now have what you now see as some type of potentially curtain. Doesn't have the normal stitching of like a piece of clothing or anything like that.
I'm gonna put my arm back in, try and feel for whatever that metal was. I'm willing to go all the way up to the shoulder if I have to.
Reaching all the way in. Give a perception check with disadvantage.
As I'm doing this, I'm going to turn to Sariel. It's like, imagine how much I'd freak people out now.
That's weird. I didn't turn that off. Imagine where your arm went. Oof. Does it hurt in there?
That's an 8.
Okay. You can't find the clanging, the source of the clanging metal. In reality, searching all around, you can't feel much of anything but air. Whatever material you were feeling the first time seems to now be on this side of the cube.
So the hole expands to fit what you're trying to put in. So like it expanded for my arm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm on to Sarah. I'm gonna go. Keep a careful eye on us, and I'm gonna put my head in it.
Okay.
As
Are you sure that's safe? Can you breathe?
as Sariel is starting to talk a little louder, and you have your head in, I'll tell you what you see first. You see, looking around with your head in, an office chamber. Oak flooring. Looking up, you see what used to be where the curtain rod was held. On the ground, you see the curtain rod and what was left of the curtain. A window on the opposite side shows daylight. You don't see or hear any people around. As you stick your head inside this object, Sariel, you see Grist enter in. Are you two gonna come eat or what? What is he doing?
I don't know, but he just put his head in that box. Quincy, and I'll kind of like push him a little bit.
When I feel Sariel tugging us, I'm gonna lift. It's like there's a freaking office in here.
There's a what?
An office.
Okay. Are you okay? Are you hungry? Do you need some food?
Grist just kind of looking at you. Not sure what you're doing in here. That's a little weird. Well, I've never seen something like that before, but we've got food out there. If you'd like to join us by the fire for a little bit before we all retire to bed. We've got to sort out who's going to stay up and watch tonight too. You can't be too certain that we got all the bandits there. Where still those three?
I'll volunteer to keep a watch whenever I hear about it.
I'll say I'll be along in a couple of minutes.
All right. Can't guarantee the food's gonna stay out there forever though. And he walks out of the tent. What are the rest of you doing? Just hanging out.
I would be playing a song on my thing and around the fire. Not singing, just playing music.
Okay.
Working on melodies and stuff, figuring things out in my head. Be casting minor illusion to figure out how I want to present the battlefield and imagery later.
All right.
I'm probably hanging at somewhat of a distance from wherever the bandit is and sharpening my axe.
I'd just kind of be sitting there playing with my bag of beans.
Okay.
Just
We're sheltered, it's fine.
Just recognizing that, like, they're odd, like they're, you know, they carry a lot of weight for what they are, and seeing if I can, trying to recall, you know, I have some experience with herbs and plants. Seeing if I can recall a seed or a bean that would have these attributes.
Okay. Give a nature check. You feel confident that you have never seen or heard about any normal beings that carry this much density, they have to be somehow magical.
Okay. Okay. And that's all I can determine about them. Is that they're of non-natural being?
Yeah. Unless you do some other sort of investigation.
I mean, I don't know what kind of investigation I could do.
I mean, is
outside of
there
just
anything that
staring at them?
you would normally do with a bean?
Eat
Eat
it.
it.
Plant it.
I'm not saying that you would want to eat it or that you would have
Right.
to.
Yeah, once I determined that, these are of non-natural, I would not eat them.
What?
Okay.
There's
Not
some
even a lick.
loony lagoons.
So,
Can
Yeah,
can I make a suggestion out of character?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes,
yeah,
you can.
yeah, I would just kind of give up and put them back in
Couldn't
my
you-
bag.
Couldn't he druidcraft it?
To make it grow,
Ah.
yeah. If he's got it.
I don't
he's a
have
druid.
Druidcraft.
Kind of druid doesn't have druidcraft.
seriously.
A turtley one.
I suppose the kind that beats babies to death.
Yeah, pretty much. That's
Yeah,
a fair
I just put 'em
assessment.
away.
Okay. Quincy, what do you do with your newfound knowledge that there's an office?
I am going to. I'm trying to think. What?
Uh-oh, I'm losing you.
Sorry. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in the tent?
In the sleeping bag, just a few odds and ends, a lantern, gives off a little bit of heat.
All right, I'm going to take my rope, give one end to Sariel, tie it off around my waist, and just say I'll be back in 5 minutes. And I'm going in.
Okay. As you make your way into this new space, squeezing through, Sariel, you notice as the last bit of his boot vanishes through the cube.
I'm holding onto the rope.
It remains open, doesn't attempt to close. The light still shining through. As you stepped all the way through, you see, turning around, looking back, you see the same bright white cube. Not cube, but square in the wall. Seems to be a wooden panel that used to be a door ajar. Probably hidden behind the curtain that you had ripped down. Looking around, it's a standard office. Still a couple blank pieces of paper sitting on top of the desk. Nothing super noteworthy. There is a door and a window.
I'm going to toss the desk, check all the drawers, check it.
Tracks.
Okay. You find a lot of empty stationery. None, kind of patterns, golden leaf patterns along the sides. No name or organization attached to the stationery, but you do find a letter. It is sealed, but it does look relatively fresh in the center drawer. Do you open it?
Yes.
Inspecting the seal just a little bit further, do you just rip it open or do you try to cut it delicately?
I'll no. I'll use my dagger and cut.
Okay. Looking at the seal, it is a blue, blackish, mixed wax, and in the center of it you see a raven. That seems familiar to you. Give me a history check. With advantage, dude. Yeah, perfect. You
Never mind.
immediately notice that seal. You've seen it somewhere. It was in the same place that you got this very cube. Opening up the letter further, you see that it is a letter to Candlekeep. And you know of Candlekeep as people of knowledge trying to preserve all the books. And it seems weird as you're reading that, but it seems as if this letter is talking about how the cube has gone missing. It is very nondescript with names. Doesn't have who it's addressed to. It doesn't have who it's from. Even the context of the cube being missing is very vague. You feel that the only reason why you're able to tell what the contents of this letter are because you have a hand in this particular situation.
Alright. Last thing I'm going to do before I leave the cube is I'm going to peek out the door, like open it up a very crack. Just listen out if there's other people in the building. Just, I don't care where they are, what they're doing. Just, I want to know if they are or if they aren't.
Okay.
And what I can peek out from the door. And then once I've established that, I'm back through the portal and I'm going to close it.
Okay. Opening up the door, peering down, you see a long hallway. On the left-hand side of that hallway is like a balcony that you can peer over, kind of just looking out a little bit further. You can see down into a main foyer, main entrance, where you can see an empty pedestal, the same empty pedestal that was left when the cube was taken. You do hear some idle chatter coming from downstairs. Can't tell how many. You what?
Sorry. I was going to say, I just remember there's a window. Is my hometown outside the window?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you. You were
Nope.
saying?
That was it.
Well then, with all the information that I've apparently found a portal back to my hometown, I'm going to go back through and close it.
Okay. Alrighty.
Quincy, are you okay? That was, you disappeared. Are you hurt? And I'm gonna like pat you down. Do you need
Yeah.
some healing? I can give you some healing.
It's fine. It seems to be a portal. It goes back to John, I've forgotten the name of the town.
Okay, I forgot the name of the town.
Shame.
Handle town.
Waterdeep?
No. Insert generic town here. We'll look at it and give you further details once I look at his backstory that he sent me.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say blah blah for now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a portal back to blah blah. It's some
Have I
office-
ever heard of blah blah?
It's where we meet. It's where we met. That's my home.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Neverwinter.
Waterdeep.
Neverwinter.
Neverwinter, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a portal back to Neverwinter.
Yeah, goes back to Neverwinter.
You sure it's safe?
That seemed fine.
I'll keep an eye on you. Make sure that you stay fine.
Anyway, I'm gonna close it, untie the rope. It's like, do you want to go get something to eat now?
Okay.
Rejoining the rest of the group outside. Hear Whimsy playing a tune. The rest of them huddled around, eating some dried meats, some bread, and a thrown together soup.
Quincy? Is what you
Yeah?
just did a secret, or do we want to tell people?
I'm not adverse telling them, but the more people who know, the more danger is, because I can't have people knowing I have this cube.
But I thought you said it was a gift.
It was, but some people would. There are people who are also after it.
Oh. Okay.
Have I picked up, or has anybody picked up on Quincy and Serial spending a lot of time together and kind of their awkward dad's-daughter relationship, but maybe something else?
We're
I've picked up
friends.
on it.
I mean,
We're friends.
that's 100% up to you. If that's the vibe that you're getting, that's the vibe that your character's getting. You're more than welcome to inquire
I would
about
say
it.
that Baron's more my dad.
Baron's
tells me no.
everybody's daddy.
that's right, you laddies.
I'm going to wave Serial over when I see her.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Minor Illusion with a miniaturized version of you with wings, and ask for feedback on if I need to make any adjustments.
Oh, that is so cool. Is that what I look like?
Mostly. It is an
I just-
idealized version.
I
Above
just
tabletop.
got like a burning sensation, and all of a sudden they just popped out. It was so cool. It's never happened before.
Yeah, they were. It was really cool, and I think it'll make a great visual for my next performance.
Yeah, we'll just let people know that it was just for effect, though. Don't tell people too much about.
I can drop the wings if you'd rather.
I mean,
Rather
as
not.
long as we tell people that it's your stylized version, I think it will be okay. But
I can
Mama might
make-
get mad at me.
You can make everything way over the top to make it seem like it's all performance.
Right.
Okay, I can do that for you. Thanks for the feedback.
That's so cool, though. Thank you.
Of course.
As the night winds down, eventually people start wandering off to bed. Well, I'll probably take first watch. Any of you want to join me?
I want to.
Join.
Oh, well, if he's joining, then we don't need everybody on watch.
Who's
Join.
taking second?
I'll take second.
I'll also take second.
I guess we're last. Chris?
No, we're first.
Oh.
We go first. Then Gat and Berend are second. And then Quincy and... What's your name again? Whimsy, that's right. You two can be third.
Okay. If you'd rather, go and watch with Serial, I understand that. She is much better company than I am.
I don't care who I go and watch with. I don't really need your help at all, to be honest.
Master Grist often gets what people said mixed up, as we discovered earlier today.
Am I? You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna start first watch. Whoever joins me can join me. The rest of you go to sleep. I'll wake you up in due time.
Well, Chris, we gotta finish that armor. Anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that would be a good idea then.
I don't know if you're familiar with the term watch, but typically you're watching out for the camp, not watching someone's armor being made.
It's kind of like when you're escorting a caravan.
Well, you see, with that scenario, everyone else is awake. Right now, they're sleeping. There's plenty of eyes when people are awake. But right now, I've got shit to do. So...
Oh. Baron, would you mind?
You're supposed to be sleeping! How are you going to get a long rest if you're staying up when it's not your turn to watch? Go to sleep, child.
Oh no, I'm on watch.
Alright, then Baron, go to sleep.
I'm going to give... Never mind, actually. I'm not going to give Bardic Inspiration if he's not going to work on
the armor. And he starts setting up a perimeter, wandering around, kind of digging his feet into the snow, creating a clear border around camp.
I feel like I'm gonna follow him and then just chatter in his ear to be annoying. What you doing? Why are you doing that? Oh, that's so smart. You should do that more. Maybe we should make a wider circle. Maybe 2 circles would be better. Shit like that.
Yeah. Eventually, after explaining for a few moments, he's like, you know what? I decided that I think it would probably be better if, getting armor fitted is really hard work. You're probably really tired from sitting in the back of the caravan and having your armor fitted. You should probably just go to sleep.
Oh no, I'm not tired at all.
Are you sure?
Yeah. There's a little bit of... We did so good. Like, I felt so powerful, and then I'm gonna regale him with bandit stories now.
Eventually, after making a perimeter, he finds a high point and he just sits down and just completely stone-faced is performing watch.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking, and he's just not even acknowledging it.
Nope.
You learned that one from me.
The 2 hours go by from watch. And he finally speaks. Alright, you go wake up the next 2. I'm going to bed. My brain is fried listening to you. I don't have any more room for any more information. I'm going to sleep.
But I didn't even get into the way the pillars are shaped in my church.
Walking. Just away.
Yep, I'll go wake up Baron and Cat.
Okay. Oh my god, she got the name right. How about that? Baron and Gat,
Eventually I get there. It
Yeah.
just takes a while. Names are hard.
Yeah. Baron and Gat. You awake?
Yeah, as soon as they go to bed, I go check on the bandit.
I'll come with him.
Whimsy's sleeping with him. They're snuggling.
Going to.
Are you? Whimsy, are you sleeping next to him?
I don't remember. I don't recall him saying he was.
We said he was gonna hang out with the bandit, so.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess.
I'm-
I guess so.
yeah, I'm sleeping in
I mean, the spooning is my canon.
I'm
but...
not spooning him.
I mean, it is extremely cold out there. Like when they were going to check, if you're, he is going to be shivering, not sleeping at all. Like it is extremely cold out. Out in the
you might
caravan.
like fall asleep and then like migrate towards the body heat, and then
Maybe.
spoon
I'm
him.
fine with that. Yeah, I'll wake up spooning him.
I mean, you might not wake up, but anyways, I mean that's not what I meant. I meant you're not gonna wake up when they come over to inspect.
You woke up dead.
But you see.
So are you both just in the back of the cart? Spooning?
Yes. Yes.
That's how it ended up.
Now you see,
Fine with
Mr. Gat. There's some other connection here. We find this one in a Yeti's den. But what happened to the caravan he was traveling with? Sure, there were some corpses in there, but
You're a tiefling, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, now I'm just imagining you've got your tail wrapped around him as well.
It's under the
blanket.
So want it now.
He could
Wanna
roll
know
for how
where it
much he's
was.
snuggling.
All right, you guys are sleeping.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that maybe Whimsy's in with the bandits?
could be.
Could
He
be.
seemed awfully. He saved 3 of them, and then this one as well.
We should keep an eye on him for sure.
Doesn't make total sense, though. I mean, he did help us, but
It could be an act of self-preservation.
aye. But he's pretty recognizable too. So if he's fallen in with that gang,
Hey, I know how that can be. Not many of my kind out here.
aye. Unless he was the insider in the last caravan, but no, that doesn't make any sense. Despite that, I don't like it, Mr. Gat.
It seems like he's just young. Hasn't quite faced the bitterness of the world yet.
They wanted to save a baby Yeti, and this one's not too far off from that.
I would say the baby Yeti could grow up to be a lot more dangerous than that bandit.
Maybe. But people can be a lot more cunning than a Yeti.
True.
They can go to other towns, leave a lot of mischief in their wake. At least a Yeti sticks to its territory.
Yes. Yeah, a human can cause a lot more damage than just life and death.
He was disarmed, tied up. Didn't feel right, even though it was the simpler option just to execute him. But that would be the justice that he would face if we brought him back to town and like brought him to. Though what is there's some sort of like law enforcement, right?
In Bryn Shander?
It's all criminal. Yeah, it's all criminals, but like there's somebody who's like in charge.
Yeah,
like, they
you
probably
know.
have a force to kind of keep.
Basically, each member of the 10 towns has a council member, or in this case, you would know in Bryn Shander, there's Speaker Duvessa Shane, She is just a human.
Just a human?
Yeah. And then there's also a sheriff, Markham Southwell, that's in Bryn Shander as well. He's the leader of the small militia that is in Bryn Shander.
Something
So-
I don't understand, though, is he decided to tell us everything before taking his escape pill.
Yeah, I've never seen a contraption quite like that. It is odd to disclose all your secrets and then try to take
Take
your
that.
own life. You would think if that's where you thought it was heading, you would just do it and get it over with.
Could be a redeeming quality. But I don't want any part of it, and I don't want little Miss Sariel getting her hopes up thinking that she's gonna right every wrong by taking this man on tour and getting distracted from what her job is, which is to be helping all of Icewind Dale.
Yes, I don't believe he has any intent of making reparations.
No, and that's a lot. That would be a lot to ask anybody after making the choices he did.
Yeah, once you do those kind of crimes, there's no going back.
Mhm.
At least not from my experience. I've
I've
lived
heard tales.
quite the life. I've actually been meaning to ask you, Mr. Baron. I've noticed you've taken quite the liking to Quincy. When
What do
you
you
guys
mean?
are off, running through the woods, tracking folk.
No, Mr. Quincy's an assassin.
I
He's
also,
good at.
I'm not an assassin. But I've lived a long life in the woods. I know my way around. Seems like you're always passing me over, leaving me to stay watch or look after the children.
Is that what you think?
That is what I think.
Always passing you over. That's a funny thing for a one-time option. I mean, Mr. Quincy is. He's good with a bow. That's what I'm used to doing for an ambush. And I took the good information that you gave me when we were walking with the caravan. And I could trust you to stay back and make sure things were okay.
You don't trust Quincy to stay back?
No, see, you're doing that thing where, like, I say one thing, and so it must mean that. And you're confusing me, or it must mean the opposite. But
Okay.
if you want
I
some,
I'm not a man of many feelings, but I felt like we had a connection on the ship and the Harpies. But it felt like you were, and I'll look up to him. Felt like you were pushing me away.
Mr. Gatt, this is going to be a complicated relationship if that's going to be part of it. We're here to do a job, and I'm here to try to do my best to take care of you.
But I want to be the one taking care of you.
And you have, and you've helped out quite a bit. But when I make decisions for this group, it's for our survival and what I think is best. Now, if you have misgivings about that,
I just feel like I am better suited at survival than Mr. Quincy. He's a city boy.
Aye.
He's done his things, he has his skills.
Yep,
But when it comes to being out here, I feel like I'm the best suited.
the best suited. I
Yes.
think you have your skill set, and Mr. Quincy has his, and I'll choose which ones to deploy in whatever situations we come across.
That's fair. I trust your judgment.
Well, I hope that you do, and try not to get your feelings hurt by it. It's got nothing to do with it other than our survival. And thank you for telling me. There's a few things that can rot a group from the inside than resentful feelings.
Yes, no hard feelings. I was just feeling like you didn't think I was capable.
Why do you care so much what I think?
Oh.
Do you know that you're capable? Do you have that confidence?
I assume once the turning of the hand, there's been a lot of talk about dying and retiring. From Griss, I assume he's serious, and you'll be running the caravan from here on out.
Well, that was always the plan, was that I'm going to be in charge of yous. I didn't expect that.
Griss is getting old. I imagine the cold has gotten down to his bones.
He's not that old. He's just...
The environment up here will age you pretty quickly.
I think the trips down south have softened him. And I can't blame him. It's no easy task. Living in the north.
I'm aware.
Well, we'll leave Mr. Whimsy to his pet project.
Yes.
Maybe we should cover them for some privacy.
I
mean,
been sitting there staring at him the whole time.
I mean, we haven't said that.
I would
standing there just having this conversation.
I would have hoped that you would have put the tarp back down and like wandered away to talk about it.
My snoring is musical, though. I'm sure you've noticed that.
Yeah, we would have walked away, had this conversation while walking and talking. And as we're walking and talking, I'll
need you guys to make perception checks.
Oh, okay.
You didn't make the conversation in front of a romantic campfire.
So we have Whimsy and the Bandit. We've got Baron and Grist, or Baron and Gat, all starting their romantic relationships tonight.
I feel like I just rejected Gat, so I'm still on the table if anybody wants.
Well, Whimsy's a great snuggler.
Oh, you guys.
This is turning into Icewind Dale, Rime of
Dang,
the
sir,
Bachelorette.
you saw through my whole plan. Like, I saw Whimsy's great snuggler, and this bandit thing's definitely not going to work out. And I'll be there as the shoulder to cry on when he needs it. Better keep my options open.
He's got a thing for horns.
And I can settle for Gat if it falls through.
Poor Gat's feelings. Aww.
You saw the wheels turning.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay.
Did we perceive anything, John?
Yeah.
Oh.
Baron, looking around, eventually your eyes are averted. You look up to the sky, and you can see in the distance, over what you know is the 10 towns. And you can see greens and yellows. Basically, what you see is very much like the Northern Lights.
Mr. Gat, look.
Oh, wow.
You've been up here before, right?
Yes, I've seen this before, I believe.
You have not.
I have never seen this before.
Neither of you have.
Oh.
Okay, so not quite like the Northern Lights.
Would we have heard stories about it then, or is it's not they're like Northern Lights, or they are, or
They are like it, but it's not for the same reasons as why we have our earthen Northern Lights. I'm just saying
Right.
from a descriptive reason.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Visually.
Yeah,
but
visually.
it's not something that happens regularly either, like Northern Lights.
The Aurora Borealis.
This is a new occurrence.
New phenomenon. Okay. And I haven't seen this before, like even in recent years. This is
Make a religion check with advantage because of you
yeah.
living in. Yeah. You haven't been back up in a couple years since, or not a couple years, but a couple months since the pass was snowed in, right? But even growing up, you've never seen anything like this. It's hard to tell what it could be from.
All right, then I grab Gat's attention and ask, "What do you think it could be? It's some sort of magic show, or maybe because of the darkness, the mages that helped clear the pass are helping with sight around the town."
It could be magic, for sure. I've seen powerful magic like that, but I
Yeah,
don't know.
you have traveled up here. I'll allow you to make a history or a religion check yourself.
Okay. 23.
Okay. You actually have heard about what this is. Speaking with the druids when you did come here, you know of a demigod, Auril.
Arl?
Auril. Auril, the Frostmaiden. And that sometimes bring about the night, she would sprinkle some magic in the air.
That's it?
Yeah, that's all you know.
Okay. History does tell of a demigod, Arl, who would scatter her magic across the plains to bring upon the night. But I'd never seen it.
So that could be that.
That's the only
It's funny
thing
to
I can
think of.
think of.
You know, I think Miss Jocelyn has told stories about that creature before.
Yes. But I don't know what it means. Or if even that's true.
Do it.
Do I know is like Arl what their alignment would be?
With a 23, I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I want to make sure.
Okay.
neutral evil.
Oh. If it is aural, it's could be a sign of some tough times ahead of us. From what I've read and been told, they, aural, can be quite the wicked one.
Baron, you know just a little bit about Oral yourself. In a sense that the meaning of the evil isn't necessarily as blatant as what one would normally prescribe. The weather up here in the north is harsh. People die to the cold all the time. And a lot of this weather is her doing. But the motivations and the things for that aren't necessarily evil themselves, just the byproduct of it.
Yeah, they say a lot of this trouble is because of her. I wouldn't mind causing her the same trouble just so that she knows what it feels like. But tales tell that her ice is just as cold as the nights that she causes.
Yeah.
Maybe we could capture her somehow and bring her to a desert and see how she'd like it. Haha.
Take her back down to Cholt with me. She might learn to love the tropics. I sure miss them.
I can't imagine what it'd be like. So you've seen both extremes.
I have.
Pretty adaptable for a turtle.
Well, everything I need I keep right here on my back.
Coming
I'm sure
towards
the
close
furs
to the
help, too.
end of your 2 hours. You're more than welcome to continue watch if you.
Well, Mr. Baron, it's about that time.
Aye.
Should we go get the others?
Aye.
Before we do, I wanted to ask you, what do you know about magic beans?
I
know you're not much
they're loony
smell.
legumes, and the more you eat, the more you toot.
I have heard of that spell. But
You've come to the right person. I'm a master wizard when it comes to bean casting.
not quite picking up on Baron's joking. I'll pull out the beans and show them to him.
Okay.
They look good. You could probably boil them in a pot. And
if you handle the beans, you're more than welcome to. But handling the beans, you'll notice the same thing that Gat did. That these seem to be much heavier than what their size would indicate.
No, these are magical beans.
As far as I could deduce, I went through my catalog of plants, and I couldn't find anything in it.
They're heavy. Could pack a punch.
You think we should throw them at people?
I don't know. Maybe they'll grow into something if you tried to plant them. But soil's not great up here.
That's true. Okay. Well, let's go
There might be
grab...
somebody in town that will know more about him.
Yeah. Let's go wake Serial.
I believe Sariel did her watch.
Oh, that's right. Gris had confused me as well.
Yeah. Well, I think it's supposed to be Mr. Whimsy and Mr. Quincy, and
I hate to wake Whimsy. He looked so comfortable.
I don't know how we're going to keep his friend warm without his help.
Again.
We'll go talk to him about it. Well, first let's get Mr. Quincy.
Good call.
So we go get Mr. Quincy.
Yeah, Quincy, you awake.
They have no idea how, but not only am I in the sleeping bag, but I'm using the curtain as a blanket, and they have no idea where it came from.
Okay. Alrighty.
Mr. Quincy.
Yes.
Mr. Quincy, your turn for watch. And I believe you're paired with Mr. Whimsy. We had a clear night other than some colorful skies over Bryn Shander. Keep your eye on our guest. And maybe find a way to keep him warm, because Mr. Whimsy is helping out in that regard, if you know what I mean.
Set him on fire. Got it.
That would be your prerogative, Mr. Quincy. I'd be asleep and be helpless to stop you.
Alrighty. Quincy, starting your watch. What do you do?
I'm going to take a quick look around the camp, and then I'm going to find a vantage point to climb up to and just get settled there.
Okay.
You're not going to wake Whimsy?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Finding a vantage point. It's pretty easy. Give me a perception check.
$13.
Having heard from Barrand and Gat about the colorful lights in the sky, spend a lot of your time distracted looking up into the night. But watch goes by relatively uneventfully. Is there anything else that you would do during your watch?
No, just relax, probably in a tree, and just, I guess, stare at pretty lights and...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of your 2 hours comes. It's hard to tell. The light doesn't change. Still as dark as night. Never really changes anymore this far north. Who do you wake? Never really discussed who would take last watch.
There are only 3.
Yeah, isn't there only 3 usually?
I don't know, I thought
8
there were
hours and we've
8
used up
hours.
6.
Oh, I figured there were 2 hours in the setting up camp and eating food before everyone went to sleep or something.
Yeah, I suppose
Yeah,
you only...
And Baron and mine, ours went a little long.
Yeah, okay. We'll call it at that. You feel that probably time to start getting around and hitting the road again. Eventually Null crawls out of his camp, the first one. Jocelyn shortly behind as he's starting to pick up some of the odds and ends around the makeshift campsite and stuffing them into the lead cart, unaware of your presence still up in the tree. You stay up there while people are still breaking down camp?
No, I'll climb back down. I'll probably help, as in do as little as possible, but look like I'm helping.
Eventually, the caravan is all loaded, set off.
I'm going to before we head out, I'm probably going to wake up. Yeah. Assuming I wake up, I might sleep through all of this, but if I wake up, I'll probably wake up and tie his legs and ask him if he needs to go relieve himself or anything.
I haven't really eaten or drank anything in a while. I'd be sooner to eat than relieve myself.
Get him some food, rations, some water.
Very kind of you. Probably would have froze to death without your warmth.
Yeah. I mean, it was
Would have been
mutually
much
beneficial.
easier if we were just in a tent.
I wasn't sure how comfortable people would be. I think you can probably understand that.
Yeah, I get that, I suppose. As he's eating rations so that you're having to feed him because he doesn't have any available hands.
Yep, his hands are tied. Huh. I'm gonna say, all right, so this is gonna work. I'm gonna have to trust you a little bit, and you're gonna have to trust me a little bit. You do that. You keep your word. Help us out.
I think so.
Alright. Going to tie his hands. And probably touch up his disguise.
Okay.
Sure that anything that got wonky in the night is good again.
You untied his hands and he takes over feeding himself, taking bites in between you applying new makeup. Why? Why are you helping me like this?
I'm gonna.
I've given you
tell
all
him
the
about-
information that I can. I don't know what else I can do for you.
Well, you've given us all the information, but I'm sure there are things you haven't thought of, full that you might recognize that you wouldn't have thought to describe, so you can point out to me. I grew up in a rough neighborhood myself. Wasn't always easy to get by without dipping your toes into some less honest work. I remember my dad constantly struggled with that. So I can understand the types of things that would lead someone down this path, and I definitely appreciate that I got an opportunity to get out of there, and think it's something I'd like to give to others. Give you an opportunity to make things right. It's not going to be easy. You were right. Death would have been a hell of a lot easier, but gotta. If you ever want a happy life, this is the road. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be long, but there might be a light at the end of this tunnel.
I don't know if you're right, but it's soothing to hear, I suppose. With that, real quick, out of character, we got about an hour left, or 59 minutes left. Does anybody need to use the restroom? Need a quick break? Okay, let's take a quick 5, and then we'll be back, and we're going to fast forward to Bryn Shander.
Well, while these are taking a... Are you going for a...
Yeah, I'm going to go to the bathroom, too.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Make some tea. Ah. Best part about wireless headphones is I can get up and walk away and still hear y'all.
La-di-da.
I know, I'm fancy. The funny thing is I've got a D&D game with Johnny right after this.
Yep.
We have completely different characters.
Oh yeah.
There's a Curse of Strand in another Discord.
Crystal
Going
Strahd?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another game going on in another Discord, I mean. But it's happening right now, basically, so I couldn't join it, and I want to do it just for one joke.
What joke is that?
It's actually from the Animaniacs, and I would totally use it when you meet Strahd. It's when they meet Count Dracula, and it's like, didn't you used to teach math on Sesame Street?
Oh, goodness. Yeah, John actually DMs Curse of Strahd for us on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I've muted the room because I don't really have anything to say, but yeah.
And Baron is in that one. Todd was originally there, but his work schedule interfered, so he had to drop out. We don't have a cleric anymore. The fun part is that Sariel and Honora are similar, but also quite different, because Honora's more likely to get her hands dirty. She's a little fighter, little halfling fighter. And
Nice.
Sariel is so innocent and sweet and craziness. And then I have Charlotte, my noble, sexy bard sorcerer combo. I have my rogue, and I have a new spirit bard as well, as a shifter. So lots of fun little characters. Completely different personalities, every single one of them.
Let's say I've got this one, a high elf cleric, a human monk who's actually blind, and a fairy wizard and a water genasi druid.
Oh, and then I've got the crystal dragonborn that I play with Johnny. She's a ranger.
My Crystal Dragonborn is a paladin.
Yeah. So we played an entire crystal dragonborn. So all of us are crystal dragonborns, different classes.
Well, there's that book that's just come out so you can play it as a dragon.
A Dragonborn.
No, dragon.
Oh. The Monsters of the Multiverse has dragon?
No.
Monsters of the Multiverse is just a rehash of Volos
Okay.
and Mordekai's. Not great.
Ginny D has been advertising it.
Then it's probably not official Wizards.
Yeah.
No, it's not official wizard stuff, but
Yeah.
it's got like a bunch of Like,
There's about 10 billion unofficial things you can play with 5th edition, and so it's really hard to keep up with all of the unofficial shit when there's already like so much official shit. So
by
I
the
don't pay
way,
attention to any of that.
I follow Ginny D, so like I've seen her advertisements for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like GDD too, but
Kind of zone out when she, starts making money.
yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
Gotta
it's
be
fair.
done.
It's her full-time job, so.
Oh, yeah. I don't skip it or anything, but I zone out. And I occasionally will click on it just not because I actually am going to buy anything, but just, for out.
Watch it same reason I watch Ryan Reynolds adverts. They're just entertaining.
Yeah.
It's true.
By the way, John, that's what I was going to quickly say.
You know Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
While we're traveling the rest of the way, I'm going. Well, personally,
Yeah, close personal friends, right?
Nice.
I'm gonna make a water clock out of a ball.
A water clock out of a bowl?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm having to. Oh, okay. I do know this. This is. Are you making an entire clock, or just like the portion with the hole in the bottom to where the water coming into it will sink to the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, you're
Just so
just
you can
making
measure-
the top bowl then.
Yeah, just so you can measure length of time, not actual time of day.
Okay. Alrighty.
I thought it might be useful for the watchers.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Okay. So you're I got it. Yeah. All right. You're working on that. I'll say working for a good amount of time you're able to troubleshoot and figure it out and get the length of time to be perfect. Okay.
At least when the water doesn't freeze.
Right. Yeah, that'll be another thing that we'll have to worry about once it gets too cold. That might have impact.
But keep it close to the campfire.
Yeah.
As long as you think about it.
Yeah. You travel on the road. Open plains on either side. That's open plains on either side. As you can see, small towns littered in the distance. One large directly in front of you to the north. Massive 30-foot walls. Periodically spread out. Go ahead, what?
You got a long rest, right?
Yes. Periodically spread with what appear to be towers from this distance. This town is set on a large hill at the top, adding also to its height. Where did my map go? Eventually, getting close to the town, you can see woods off to the right. Baron, you would know that these woods don't necessarily have a name, but they're separating Bryn Shander from Goodmead along the east way. As you get to the front gates, the gate is open. As you go in, the streets are still covered in snow, but more mushy from traffic. Tight quarters of the streets, traveling caravans. You don't see very many people pulling anything that's not on top of a sled to get around. The first stop that they make is the stables, right at the beginning of town. Nall gets out, stops. I'll take it from here. Everybody just leave your carts, your horses here. You're free to roam about the town for the day. It's probably around midday, even though the night is still dark. Or the sky is still dark, as if it were night. Torchlights, small fires are kept throughout the entirety of the town. Grist. Well, I think it's time to head to a tavern, get some ale. Valis steps in. I'm sorry, Grist. You're more than welcome to head to the tavern, but the rest of our companions have other business they must attend. We need to seek out Duvessa. Let her know that we are here to ask if there's any work that needs done. But as our point for coming here, you, on the other hand, are free to do whatever it is that you wish. And he turns to you, Whimsy. Didn't really cover this, but are you looking to be part of this group that is here to aid 10 towns?
Yes, I was planning on joining in.
Very well. You will also need to meet Duvessa. Outside of myself, she is going to be assigning tasks. See what needs done here in Bryn Shander. And then, when we are finished here, see what other towns need our assistance. Berend, if you could lead the way, knowing that you're from here, I would greatly appreciate it.
Certainly. Well said, Mr. Valis. There's one other point of order. Mr. Whimsy. If you're going to join our group, I want nothing to do with your charge, but if you're going to speak for him, that'll be your responsibility.
I promise if it's out of line, I'll take care of it personally.
I suppose it would probably be good if you knew my name. I don't know. Looking around, I'll have to think of an alias, but my name is Brenton. Brenton Ritsk. I'll just copy paste that if you wanted to keep it.
Brenton Ritsk?
Ritsk.
Ritsk.
I'm gonna hold out my hand. I'll be like, "Nice to meet you, Bran." And I'll wink at him.
Bran. Yes. Yes, I like that. I can go by that. Do I come with you all? How do we make this work?
Close to me, and let me know if you spot anything that I should
What
be
would I?
concerned about.
What would Baron's? I'm trying to think. Like, what would Baron's judgment be in this case? Like, should we be open to
Jubessa?
like? Yeah, I mean, or I guess I could tell the group that I'm going to tell her everything that happened on the road to let her know how the trail is leading up to the town. And so, if he's going to be present there, then Whimsy needs to be ready to say that he's taken him under his charge. But I mean, that'll also be up to the sheriff. Maybe that I'd explain that to him too. It's like, if you're planning, you could either try to hide the
I
fact
think
that you have this informant, or
from what I gathered, and maybe Whimsy can clarify, but what I was understanding is that he is no longer a bandit to anybody else. Like, he's not going to be, nobody's going to know that he was a bandit. He's disguised. He doesn't look like himself. He's basically, now he's Bran. So, like, what I understand, you would talk about the bandits on the road, but this person would just be another member of your crew.
I would say that I think it's important that we actually give Bran a second chance, but I also understand that it's not the best thing to have him immediately start lying to people again. If you trust judgment of this person, I think we can accommodate that.
How about I stand outside? I don't go into the town hall with you. Just stay outside.
Well, we'll need someone to keep an eye on you. I mean, what if Bran flakes?
well, then that would be his second chance squandered, and then we could just move on with our lives.
Did you do that on purpose, Quincy? Jerk.
I'll yeah. If he flakes, I will. If he flakes, if he's not there when we come walking back out, I'll make sure to either find him or think about all the things he told us in every tavern in town.
Well, I'm not going to come looking for you. But if you do harm to any one of my people, again, your skull for a whetstone, and I'll start leading the way. And here we are in Bryn Shander. What a sight for sore eyes after the 10 trails. 60 score people packed together like fish in a barrel and smelling about as sweet.
As you guys are walking through town, it does kind of smell. It's, you know, people wearing furs, sweating inside of them. Just, you know, there's not really a good place to shower, to bathe in this type of weather. So a lot of people just, you know, just eau de natural, just, you know, got their BO going. But you make your way through and eventually find yourself in the town square, and you see probably one of the largest buildings that you would pass so far, the town hall. Nothing too fancy. Let me scroll down to my notes. Oh shit, that's not the right notes.
I
Ender.
love this music, by the way. This is Blood and Wine, right? Or is it?
I can't remember
Traits.
which one it is for The Witcher. But yeah, it's good. So good.
His diff.
I'm gonna ask Bran if he knows who we're going to see, the woman that we're going to go see. What was her name again?
Duvessa
I'm
Shane.
gonna ask. I'm gonna ask him if he knows of her and what he knows about her.
She's the speaker for this town. Not often to be found without the accompaniment of Sheriff Markham. I've had my own run-ins with him a few times. Mostly pleasant slaps on the wrists for minor things. Talking tos, really. Once you get to the town hall, you see heraldry on the outside, banners with black antlers above a vertical shaft of golden wheat. Let me see if I have a handout for this. Yes. Show everyone. That crest on either side of the wooden door leading in. As you step inside, very simple means. Nothing ornate about the entirety of the building. You see a lot of stuffed animals, whether it's a wolf or a bear, some exotic creatures hanging on the walls. But eventually, as you walk into the main chambers, you see a woman sitting at a desk on the far side, white fur lining, blue would appear to be a dress coat. Let's see, I'm pretty sure I have a Duvessa to Duvessa. Brown hair, short in the front and kind of long, draped over the shoulders and the back. She perks her eyes up as you come in. Baron, I haven't seen you for quite some time. How were your travels south?
Oh, lots of adventures to tell.
I have
Bandits and
some
harpies.
songs if you'd like.
And
Pick
who?
this one up in a Yeti's cave.
A Yeti's cave. Interesting. Who are your friends? Are these the help that you, that I heard were being brought up?
Aye, this is Master Valis.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Duvessa. These are the people sent from Neverwinter, to help aid the 10 towns in whatever way that they can. They report to me, but they are at your service. Anything that you might need, they will do. I see. Tonight is probably not the best night. What were you gonna say, Sariel?
I'll curtsy in front of her
Okay.
awkwardly.
She does a quarter bow, just kind of nods her head a little bit in your direction as you do a curtsy. Tonight is not the best night for tasks or assignments of any. I suppose I hate to have you watch such. I guess I'll just get into it. And she walks back over to her desks and she sits back down and she just holds up a bunch of papers and looks at you. As you're aware, we've been under a long night for quite some time. We haven't seen the sun in months. We've been making sacrifices to Oral. Some towns sacrifice heat on the night of a new moon. Others sacrifice food. But we're taking other measures, more drastic measures.
How
We
drastic are you talking?
hold a lottery. Every new moon, every name is put into a drawing. Every name of the people of this town. Unfortunately, that now includes you. And you can see Valis starting to be confused, a little worried. What happens with this lottery that you speak of? We sacrifice them to the Frostmaiden. They are to be stripped of all clothes and sent out into the snow beyond our gates, to be shut as an offering to end this night.
Yet, by my reckoning, it's about midday, and I look up at the sky and it's still dark.
It's only happened a couple times.
And that's not enough, I guess, to satiate this Arl.
She is an angry god. We must have done something wrong to deserve this. We must find...
Nobody deserves this. What?
Exactly. Nobody deserves to be in an endless night, starving cold. To some, this is a warm welcome for it to be over.
But it's not over.
For those that
Who came up
go
with this
beyond the
idea?
wall.
Did she present this? Did she come and speak here?
No. We, as a council, voted on things that we could sacrifice. As the most populated town within 10 towns, we thought that Oral would appreciate it. We sacrificed that.
Has anybody asked her what she wanted?
People have prayed. Some signs point to this.
This is barbaric.
I don't disagree. But what do you do when you're up against a god? But flatter them and do whatever you can to try to satiate their needs.
Experience, people in power don't ever really get satisfied.
And beg your pardon, Lady Duvessa. Miss Sariel, our sorceress, and Mr. Whimsy, a bard. Of great repute. I'll
Sariel,
look kind of worriedly over to Whimsy.
what is your last name?
Talking to me.
Israfil.
What is that? I'm
See,
sorry.
Lucius.
Whimsy Lucius and Sariel
Israfil.
Israfil. Okay.
Sorcerer of the Silver Flame, so she's got a god on her side. It is a god,
Silverflame
right?
would never, yes, would
Well-
never, ever require this of his worshippers.
We,
Fair,
to
if-
be very clear, we do not worship her. We are just trying to satiate the needs of an evil deity. You, sir, pointing towards you, Gat, what is your full name, if I might ask?
My name's Gat.
And your surname?
Just Gat. The turtles have no surnames.
Ah, I see.
He's been to choked.
I
Well traveled.
I wish you could have brought some of the warmth with you, Gat.
He has.
Oh, well.
And I'll give him a little nudge with my elbow.
Cute.
Eventually looking over to you, Quincy. You. What is your name?
Quincy.
Quincy. Surname?
Don't have one. That's for families, and I've never had a family.
He's a dark assassin from the south. Putting his talents to good.
Oh, I suppose you'll fit right in, then. Quincy. And she writes it down onto a piece of paper. I suppose your first task be tonight everyone meets crowded in the town square where I, speaker of this town, will announce our sacrifice. So,
Excuse me, Miss Speaker Duvessa. I've noticed Baron gave everybody quantifiers. Quincy, the Master Assassin, Serial, Sorcerer of the Silver Flame, Whimsy, Bard of Great Renown. Could you put Gat, the Yeti Slayer?
I'm just gonna.
while Barrent may have given me introductions to your fine companions, I did not write them down.
Oh,
I only
okay.
wrote their names. That is all of
Well,
his...
now you know he's a Yeti Slayer.
That is
As you'll have to hear the song at some point.
very
Well,
Maybe we can skip the song.
fierce of you. Again, I am glad to have you all here for whatever task it is that we might need. But again, tonight we will need someone to keep the peace if things get out of hand. I can assure you that even my name is on this list.
I'm gonna say, well, you need things to stay calm. I actually have a talent for encouraging that particular trait in people. I would happy to join you on the stage and things calm with some music and a little bit of magic. Gonna just prestidigitate some sparkles in my hand.
I'm sorry, but I don't think that sparks are going to be what is needed for tonight. I don't see how that's meant to calm anyone.
Sparks were an example.
Oh,
Magic.
I see. We'll forego the music for this evening. It's typically a somber event. We all mourn of The loss of our brother or sister. For the name
There's
that
no
is drawn tonight.
guarantee that they're going to perish, right? They just have to go out into the woods.
Without
Into the
clothes.
plains with no clothes.
How many people?
How
One.
many moons have you done this so far?
This will be the third.
And what sort of problem did you have on the first two?
No problems the first time. People were scared. They were looking for anything to try to resolve this curse that's befallen upon our towns. Drastic times call for drastic measures. The second one, there were murmurs throughout the crowds as the name was chosen. Some, like yourselves, feel that if it was going to work, it should have worked the first time, but I say that is oral testing our willingness to continue the ritual. To show it's one thing to sacrifice one person, but to continue shows a different type of devotion.
Or madness.
I understand you're in a tough situation. It sounds like you're feel that your options are either, let cause a few people to die, or continue as you have been and the whole city perish. Is what it sounds like you're scared of. I just worry that for getting there are always more than two options.
Well, that is why some towns are sacrificing food, others are sacrificing heat, and we have been chosen to sacrifice people. If you ever come up with another alternative of a way that we might be able to wrangle this night and bring about the day, I will be open to hear it. Until then, your first assignment for tonight is to put on a face of support and help this event go off without a hitch.
If I
Valis.
may, did you say you added their names to this list?
Yes, all of their names. My name, Valis's name. All names within everyone who even travels to this city on a new moon is not exempt.
But why? These people, they took a contract to come up here and help us. But this was not part of it. It seems like a convenient way to... I'm speaking out of turn here. I've traveled with these people. They're skilled. They've got good hearts. I would not see them sacrifice their first night arriving here, after all they've sacrificed to come up and help us.
I can assure you that your odds are literally 1 in over 1,000.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
You say everyone within the town. Age restriction? Something you're gonna throw a baby out those gates?
You'll see a very horrified look on my face. What?
As she looks back up to you, most would find that to be a more preferable direction.
Find it more preferable. Why aren't they already doing it? You say that this is what the town wants. You say this is what they prefer.
I don't think anyone
also
wants
say that
this.
People are getting upset.
I don't think anyone wants this. It is what we've deemed as a necessity.
Saying we. What do you mean by we? Is this something the whole town agreed upon? Is this something you gave people an option to leave town before you implemented it?
There was a vote, yes.
They're speakers, Mr. Whimsy. They're the leaders of the town. They get together and they have a council.
This vote, was it among the speakers or did it include the general population?
As the speaker, I was voted into this position to be the speaker of the people for this town.
I've been at much competition for that position.
I'm sorry. What are you getting at? I'm
just saying, my experience, typically when you have somebody in a position of power, no matter how they got there, they sometimes forget why they have that power.
Let me ask you something. If you had to choose between sacrificing one life or the life of an entire town, what would you choose? Taking a life no matter what.
I would choose fight for the town. The same thing, choosing.
What do you suppose that we fight?
How about the god, for starters? They're responsible.
And she just kind of chuckles.
Whimsy, you
Yes.
can't fight a god.
You,
Not without the help of one. Maybe.
Well, if you so choose, you're more than welcome to head to the house of the Morning Lord and pray for Lathander to bring us day. He hasn't been much help, so we've had to take matters into our own hands.
Maybe he's just testing you. Maybe he wants to see how you do in a couple times before he steps in and helps you.
Excuse me, Valis. I greatly appreciate you bringing these, and through gritted teeth, she says, kind people to the north here to assist. Could you please make sure that they are going to hold up their end of the deal and help the 10 towns in the way that we see fit? If you don't mind, I have an excruciating amount of work to do to prepare for this evening. You are free to roam about our town until then. Your rooms and your meals will be paid for. But when tonight comes, by tonight I mean looking down at the piece of clockwork that she has attached to her arm. In 4 hours' time, we will all convene in the town square. Bells will ring out a few moments prior. Is how you know that you need to make it to the town square. Be alert for any stragglers or any people trying to remain in their homes.
Excuse me, Mr. Vessa, but are we supposed to keep the peace, or do you want us to be enforcers? Are we going into people's homes and dragging them out if need be?
Make note of their whereabouts. Their name is drawn. Then you might end up having to do some enforcement if they are still hiding.
Thank you for the warm reception. I'm sorry my foreign companions are so astounded by our traditions.
This isn't a tradition that even you are accustomed to, Baron, and I am sorry that our first meeting in so long has to be so grim. I hope that tomorrow brings a new day, and we can look for other means. There are threats to the woods that we've had issues with, mysterious killings that have happened, lots of things that need tended to. But tonight, this is what I need. I promise it'll be better tomorrow.
I don't say anything. I just stare at her.
And she...
Right. Where are we,
Valis...
Where have you put us up?
Vanessa... Not Vanessa. Duvessa. Thank you. Yeah, my brain shit for a second. Duvessa. You're able to stay at any place that you see fit. Wherever you feel most safe.
Do I know either of the two that have been sent out already? Am I going to Kelvin's comfort not to find Ogden there?
You might have known the baker's eldest daughter, Josephine. She was the first. She went out willingly. I will say that when this happens, we do allow for a momentary outcry. Emotions, raw emotions, take over. Cries are had, fits are had even. But as long as in the end they succumb to the will to make their way out into the frozen plains, it is that willing sacrifice that must be made. To force them would show bad faith. We must convince them, no matter what, that it's the betterment for the town. Again, I'm sorry, we can talk more about it tomorrow. But I truly, and she taps her quill onto the parchment in front of her, I must get back to work. You know where to find me. Valis. And she motions her hand towards the door, and Valis, all right, I suppose let's get out of here and we can talk to the others, maybe, or I don't know. As He's
Let's go.
walking, and you're all walking towards the door if you choose to accompany him. I don't know. Shouldn't mention the others that are here. I don't know
Try to
how...
find out and
No, I mean, we shouldn't. He tilts his head back towards Duvessa.
right.
I don't know if she'll find out somehow or how things are known, but
I mean, she knows some of the people. If she sees me here, then she knows that Chris, no, Jocelyn. But some of the others, you're right. We can at least keep them off.
as you
If we
step...
warn them, they can leave before the ritual.
It won't matter. Their names shouldn't be on the list.
As you step back out into the cold, snow blowing off of the roofs into your face as the frigid wind hits you.
I don't know how they
Baron?
came to this decision. Don't worry.
No.
If any of your names are drawn,
Could you tell me where the church is located?
It should be labeled on your map. I moved things
It
around.
is, but
Okay.
I assumed Baron would tell me, and I would just go. That's where I want to go.
Yeah,
I wanna go
that
to the
was...
church.
Okay.
I'm going
there's
to
probably-
say.
Mm.
I'm going to.
there's no
say
church to
the
the
group-
Silver Flame.
Hold on.
It's fine. Just holy ground. I need to get on holy ground.
Or was that Whimsy?
I'm gonna say to the group, I need to know, you guys going to let this happen? Don't intend to. Need a decision now because I have only have 4 hours to get to work.
Bran walks up. What are we gonna let happen?
I'll explain it to you in a bit. This is your chance to get some redemption. But as for the rest of you, I need to know. You guys gonna let this happen? Can I count on you? Help the people. They stand up. They know.
Help the people do what now?
Stand up and say no.
I can't imagine, as much as I find the very idea distasteful, and I don't know how they came to the decision. The council is there for a reason. It's not perfect, but we can't just have an uprising and a chaos, especially in these times.
Especially in these times. This situation, this kind of order is exactly when you need chaos.
I don't think you know what you're talking about, Mr. Whimsy.
Listen, I think we should get off the streets. It is cold, and
Mr. Vallis has the right idea. We'll talk more about this at...
maybe
I'll
even
work
find
with you.
an inn or something. And that is
Going-
where we'll leave off for this session.